Sunday, I'm lying here meditating as we prepare ourselves for the Olympics on Safari Live.
Ready. Standing by.
5, 4, 3, 2.
From a lion with a bottom, well, roughly the size of an elephant. You can see I've got it next to this elephant here. And I'm going to lay down the gauntlet by dropping this piece of dung at the feet of my colleague and friend Nat.Geo Smith, who is just round the corner next to us. And, well, I don't really want to pick it up with my hands, you see. Well, there it is. It smells absolutely beastly.
Stay away from me, I have a stick.
This is the Olympic gauntlet, everybody.
Put that on my car.
I'm going to walk around their car in order to curse them.
Watch out of here, get out of here. Hey!
And I shall place it between us.
Lucky. Wednesday we had.
My name is James Henry, that's Brent over there, Brian's on camera on that side, Liam's on camera this side, that's his unusually large thumb. He is not 4 foot, at least he's not 7'5", he's only about 5'8", despite the thumb that you have just seen. Now, our plan today, of course, if you didn't know, is to have a Bush Olympics. In other words, we're going to try and find as many mammal species, bird species, and other species that have heartbeats as possible. There will hopefully be no cheating. I cannot guarantee no cheating from either of us, and I start with a 5-point advantage, very kindly given to me by my colleague and friend here, Nat.Geo Smith.
You ready, gents?
I am ready.
Are you ready? Start your engines.
I'm going to start my engine immediately. Here we go, everybody.
Alright. And in reverse.
Right. That's the beginning, everybody. The Olympics has begun, the Bush Olympics. It will culminate, of course, in the fireside chat this evening, which will begin at 5:45. And, in fact, we've only got 2 hours of the Olympics because we then have to come and prepare for the fireside chat. So, I hope you enjoyed with us. You can talk to us. It's just a normal game drive. We just are going to count the different species that we see. And you can talk to us on hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter. Otherwise on questions at WildEarthTV, Hornbill. All you have to do is see it. Did you see it, Liam? Well done, red-billed hornbill. We'll have that. Thank you very much. We now have 6. I don't know why Brent decided that he should give me 5 points extra to start with, but I'll take him. I'll take him with pleasure. Now, I don't believe that an insect necessarily has a heartbeat, but I think we'll probably try and count those, especially if we feel like our species count is a little bit low. My earpiece is not in my ear, which is why I cannot hear what the final control is saying. And unfortunately, the one thing we're not allowed to cheat with is not linking when we're asked to link. So let's go across to Brent.
Welcome, the killer bees have got their first animal. It is a Birchall zebra with a short tail. Now, the one thing that's going to be very difficult about today's ranger race is this incredibly hot, gusty wind. Now, we're going to have to keep our distance from certain animals. That is a very nervous zebra due to the wind. But I did spy another creature just beyond it. But I am Nat.Geo Smith. I have Brian and the thumb on camera. And the team today are known as the Killer Bees. And we're not, the Killer Bees are not, how's the way to put this? We know our way to the medal podium. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So beyond the short-tailed zebra, there was a waterbuck. Where has it gone, Brian? Has it escaped? Let's go a little bit further forward. Now we are going to start seeing a lot of zebra with the drought setting in. And let's just idle on forward to the edge. You can see how jumpy they are on the wind. think that Waterbuck has done us a dirty, Brian. Nope, there it is. There we go, Birchall zebra and the common Waterbuck, our first two species. Now it's going to be very interesting. I think whoever takes today's title is going to have to look a little bit deeper than the large mammals, specifically in this wind, and I think birds are not going to have too much to play with the wind. Oh, was that an oxpecker on the zebra? Don't fly off the zebra before we get there. There we go. A red-billed oxpecker. So what is that? That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, Brian. It looks like it's the Waterbuck running. So we've got zebra, oxpecker, and Waterbuck. So we've got 2 more to catch up to our self-imposed handicap, I might add. Okay. So they're looking a bit nervous. Down there, the Waterbuck and zebra running off. I don't want to chase them away from the water on a hot day like this, and especially with the drought that's happening, so we're going to leave them be, see what other creatures might unfold in front of us. And as I said, I suppose we could do a little commentator section, Brian. What do you think? Well, we're out here in Djuma Private Game Reserve today for the final of the Bush Olympics. It is really tough conditions, but there's some really good competitors out there. So let's see what happens. Let's quickly jump across to the other vehicle with James, see how he's going.
Now there's a steenbok here, everybody. Can you still see it? Let it run away, obviously. Oh, curses. You got it. Really?
Yes, it is.
Shall I go forward? A little bit forward. Yes, there it is, everybody. No, yes, it is. It's a creature. Duiker. Well done, VM. Let's move on. The common duiker. We saw many common duiker today, everybody. In fact, I think between Eggsy and I, we probably saw about 76,000 of them this morning. That was all we saw. This morning was not particularly productive on the animal front. James has 5 extra points, Donna, because Brent decided that he was so good in the wilderness this morning that he was going to give me a head start of 5 points. I'm not sure he expected me to take it seriously, but I did take it seriously, and now I have 5 points. So if I win, it will be because he has given me 5, well, maybe because he gave me 5 points, and then he will feel silly for doing that. Buffalo. Hello, buffalo. And oxpeckers. That's 2 more. Are you keeping a tally, Rebecca? That is 9 for us so far. Starling, up at the top there, in the top of the tree. There we are. Cape Glossy Starling, then Battalier above that. Battalier. Oh, you didn't see the Battalier. Oh no, curses. Right, that is the Cape Glossy Starling, and I failed to find a Cape Glossy Starling for Siberia Zumi this morning. He wanted to see all the starling species that we have. Birchall's starling, no, that's another Cape Glossy on the ground there. I think we'll just call that Cape Glossy, and it's going to look for insects perhaps in the muck around here that all the buffalo have left. Good, that is all there is over here. Let us continue. We don't want this to be a mad rush, just a small rush, to see as many species as we can. Blue wax bills, everybody, but unfortunately with this camera, seeing those blue wax bills is going to be impossible. To be fair, I think that 5 points is not a bad option for me because we have the short lens, you see. Hello Genevieve, what a very interesting question you've asked. There's a gymnogene over there, VMP. That's It's an African harrier hawk. I'm just going to confirm that with my binoculars. It is indeed an African harrier hawk. Genevieve, you say animals experience adrenaline surges. They do when they're threatened. And you want to know if they experience the euphoria that sometimes accompanies that with human beings, or if it's just for survival. I think very much it's just for survival. I imagine possibly some of them feel a little bit more euphoric than others when they get that adrenaline rush. They might get slightly addicted to it, I suppose. But remember, adrenaline is not a particularly healthy hormone. It's a hormone that gets, oh, it's a beautiful bird. It's a hormone that gets produced when you're under extreme stress, and it creates a sort of flight response. It charges your muscles, and you're able to achieve incredible feats of strength when you do it. And then it's broken down, if I'm not mistaken, by cortisol. I think that's how it works. Anyway, let's go across to Brent, and we'll talk more about adrenaline when you come back here.
Here we go, yellow-billed hornbill. One species. So Brian and our tactic is that we're going to hit multiple species in one spot. We're not going to dilly-dally with one species at a time. So from the yellow-billed hornbill to the most numerous antelope in Africa, south of the Sahara, the impala. And they are pretty jumpy today with this gusting wind around, and they're not hanging about when we stop the vehicle. They moved into the bush where they feel a little bit safer. Now, another one of my favorite little critters is around here as well, but they're going to be very nervous, as I said, in this wind. So they did disappear into this said termite mound. Little dwarf mongoose. Where are you, little mongoose? I think they're going to be hiding from me in this wind. Any sign of them, Brian? Oh, fork-tailed drongo above the impala. Got it? So between the two marulas, at the distance, a little bit to the left. There we go. There it is. The fork-tailed drongo is out getting all the insects disturbed by the impala as they feed. I think these dwarf mongoose have decided to become very scarce and go underground in this gusting wind, as their hearing, their smell, and with the amount of dust there is today, their sight is probably a little bit impaired as well. But there we go, catching our handicap. But it is wonderful to be out in the bush in all its different phases, and I won't lie, the strong windy days, unless I'm with big cats on the hunt, they can make life a little bit difficult out here when it comes to game viewing. A lot of your herbivores are quite skittish. Elephants can be quite skittish. So it's going to be interesting to see what we can do, and what a perfect challenge for the Ranger Racer, the last event of the Bush Olympics. Okay, there we go. Let's see if these impala are a little bit more relaxed. You can see they're keeping quite tight groups, and in this wind they're not spreading out as much as they would normally through the bush. And it is safety in numbers. The closer you are as the predators come, the less likely you're going to be the one who gets scoffed. Now, we're going to check every oxpecker in case there's a yellow-billed as well, but unfortunately those are all red-billed oxpeckers, so unfortunately don't count. Now, if we look at the impala, there's a very interesting thing on their back ankle. And here we go, you can see those little black dots there. Those are called metatarsal glands. Now, when a herd of impala are chased by a predator, they often bombshell into all directions. And they release a pheromone from that gland that enables the herd to find each other again afterwards. So they can quickly get back into their big numbers for safety. Okay, well, let's leave the impalas looking a bit nervous in the wind. And remember, this is live, so while we're racing around trying to find as many species as possible with a heartbeat, you can send us questions, and you can do that by using the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter, or you can send us an email to questions@WildEarthTV. Oh, James has got another antelope. Brian, we're going to have to up the game, so let's go see what it is.
Nyala. That's what those are, everybody. Nyalas. And Nyala is a really pleasant thing to say. Nyala, and above them a fork-tailed drongo. There it is. Well done, Viam. These Nyalas are enjoying the shade. It's quite hot today, about 30 degrees Celsius, I think, which sits at about 85 or so. There is a howling wind, which is typical for this time of the year, so that's totally normal. And the Nyala, they're not feeding at all, so I'm imagining that they're probably ruminating or thinking about going off to have something to eat just now, perhaps. And they'll go into the thickets and see if they can find some fresh leaves to eat. And, of course, it's beholden on me every so often to explain some South Africanisms. I've started to use the term just now again, which in South Africa means in a little while, but to the rest of the world means sort of immediately. So when I say they'll go off just now, I mean in a little while they'll go off and have something to eat. Ooh, did you see the bird that landed there, VMP? Just above there, just above the drongo, and to the right-hand side, I think it's a chin spot batis, which is impossible to see with this camera. It's about a pixel in size. Now it's flown away. Chin spot batis, I saw it, but we can't count it because you didn't see it, everybody, so we can't count that one. Righty. Let's see what else we can find. It's a very pleasant afternoon, I must say. I would very much like to see a leopard at some stage. I'm starting to forget what they look like. I suppose I did see Karula a few days ago, but I'd like to see her babies. They're growing up without me, and you know they grow up so fast. One blinks one's eye and there they have grown up immediately. What is that, Viam? That is a tawny eagle, I believe. No, it's a hooded vulture. A hooded vulture, everybody. Well done, Vim. The hooded vulture, of course, the first. We probably should have a rule about this, that you have to give some kind of interesting tidbit of information about whatever we see, otherwise it's just going to become seasickness safaris. The hooded vulture is normally the first vulture to arrive at kills because it flies slightly lower than the others, and it's, well, I don't know, I'm not sure why else it should be the first one there, but it's also got a much smaller beak, which means that it eats much smaller pieces of the carcasses, and it gets in amongst the bones and eats out the sort of gristle that the other vultures are not able to do, which I think is quite impressive. Now I'm going to hope that that is a greater blue-eared glossy starling. And my interesting fact about the greater blue-eared glossy starling is that it goes. Isn't that an interesting fact, Viam?
Yeah, but it doesn't quite go.
It does. It is a mediocre fact, but I'm still taking it. It's like most of the starlings, everyone. It will be. I've been told that that fact was mediocre, and I need to give you another one. Like most of the starlings, it will spend the winter struggling to find insects to eat, and that's why you find them following the big herds of elephant and buffalo. Okay, Rebecca, are you happy with that one? Phew, that's a luck. The judges say that that is sufficient fact. Factoid. I don't know what the difference between a fact and a factoid is. Do you, Viam? Not. Okay. Oh, crested francolin. You can go across to Brent now. I'm just showing you the crested francolin. Interesting fact about the crested francolin, of course, is that it is the first francolin to call in the mornings. The alarm clock of the bush. Let's go across and find out what Brent has found.
So we've caught up with the very beautiful young male Nyala in the thickets. Also being a little bit hard, playing a little bit hard to get due to the incredibly windy weather we're experiencing. Now, Nyala is a relatively new species in comparison to some of the other species out here, and you can actually tell that from their distribution. Oh, I don't know if he's seen us. Someone was about to come around the corner. Let me just move off the road quickly. As I said, a relatively new species due to their distribution. Oh, I've got a very, well, we'll get back to the Nyala now in a few seconds. But I do believe Opa has a heartbeat. And an interesting fact about Opa is he's the man who keeps the cars running. Hi, Opa. Hi, Opa. Good, thanks, for coming from Arathusa.
Yeah, coming from Arathusa.
Okay, ciao. In English? Roots. Okay. Thanks, Opa. Oh, I wonder what Final Control is going to say about that. He does have a heartbeat. I get a point for Opa. Yes. Well, I've got an interesting fact about, well, Opa. Opa keeps the Land Rovers up and running, but of course human beings have been changing the African savannas for about 200 to 400,000 years. We've been managing our environment. Now, I nearly forgot about the Nyalas we just saw. So, of course, the Nyala is a relatively new species compared to a lot of the others, and you can see that from its distribution. So it evolved somewhere around the north coast of KwaZulu-Natal, north coast of South Africa, and the southern coast of Mozambique, and they've been slowly spreading further and further from then. So a relatively new species, and the Sabi sand in Nyala population, strangely enough, is actually not an originally indigenous population. It's an introduced population. They were introduced about 65 years ago, and they've blossomed, but they actually have put down the bushbuck population. You got what I'm looking at, Brian? Oh, where's he? He's hovering. He's gone. He's there. Oh, had it for a second. Oh, we're trying to find a dragonfly. Desperate times in this wind. I think he has escaped us, the dragonfly. He went in. Oh, well, we didn't see it. No point for us. So yes, an interesting fact about Nyala. The original Nyala or the Sabi Sands Nyala population is introduced. They are not originally indigenous. They would have become indigenous, but probably in about 1,000 years or so. They would have slowly moved their way up the river systems. But we helped them on, or human beings helped them on a little bit there. Oh, this wind. Oh, we're searching. Now in this area we're probably looking for Duiker, Steenbok, maybe Kudu. And of course always Queen Karula. She's been known to hang around in these parts. So I think a good bet, Brian, is let's get some water holes. I mean, we can't even see a bird. They're going to be keeping a low profile. You got him flying. A different species of hornbill. The red-billed hornbill. Oh, is it? There we go. Off they go. Now, of course, we all love the hornbills for their morning chorus, that tock, 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 tock. But they're an incredibly interesting species due to the design of their bill. It enables them to feed on quite dangerous things like scorpions and snakes even sometimes. But it sounds like James is back in the running with a few more points.
There's a giraffe, everybody, and my interesting fact about the giraffe is, of course, that it is the world's tallest land mammal. Hooray! I will confirm whether or not we're allowed repeats, because Brent has now claimed red-billed hornbill, which we gave you as our very first animal. Judges, are we allowed repeats? Yes or no? The repeat is allowed. There we go. We've got some waterbuck. Brilliant. And my interesting factoid about these waterbuck, everybody, is that despite the thickness that their fur appears to be, it is not in fact very thick. It is quite sparsely spaced. So although it's quite long, it is quite sparse. Which I think is quite interesting given the amount of heat that there is around here. The other interesting thing about them is they don't tend to spend too much time around water here, which kind of puts pay to their names. What else you got? You are allowed to speak. A battalier, there we are. Well done, battalier eagle. And my interesting factoid for that bird, the B-50, the B-2 bomber, remember that, the stealth bomber was designed on the platform of the battalier eagle because it doesn't fly with a tail, so they studied how it flew. And that one has no that one's a youngster, it's a juvenile, so it's got a tail. Very nice. Well done, Liam. B-2 bomber, battalier, waterbuck and giraffe. Very nice. Oh, and a grey go-away bird. We're going to take that one too. It's just above the giraffe there, on the dead tree. There we are. Beautiful grey go-away bird. Let's just have a look at the giraffe again, because he's quite a spectacular fellow. I haven't seen many around here for some time, I must tell you. I feel it would be disrespectful of us to just give a ridiculous factoid like that he's the tallest land mammal, which everybody knows. So let us just appreciate him on this very warm Sunday afternoon. The males tend to get a little bit darker as they get older, but a bit like us, they have a variation in hair colour, some blonde, some red, some brunette. Very nice, Liam. That's twice you filmed the same giraffe. You're coming round to them, are you? No, he's not really. It's only because of the competition, everyone. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pointed the lens anywhere near that thing. Ah, yes. Maybe Karula will come down to Twin Dams. We're going towards Twin Dams. And then we'll feed our way to the east and back up towards Buffelshoek Dam, where we'll probably bump into Brent. I'm guessing from where he's been and the fact that he saw Opar, that he's heading up to Sydney's Dam and possibly across the Buffelshoek cut line towards Buffelshoek Dam. And still our little Wahlberg's nest remains unoccupied. There it is in the top of this tree. No Wahlbergs in it or above it or anywhere near it indeed. Ah well, they'll come back eventually, I hope. Now surely we must be able to add impala to our tally. There is a ring-necked dove. Do you see it, Wimpy? Ring-necked dove, everyone. Ostensibly a seed-eating bird. I said ostensibly a seed-eating bird, Rebecca. And what they do is they dig around in the soil, and as I was saying a little while back, when the water comes and the rain arrives, it often is a wonder as to how or where the green grass comes from. There is a tremendous seed bed around here that those birds manage to survive on, without which birds like that would really struggle to survive. On we go, ring-necked dove. Rebecca, what is the score? Ah, 22 to James, 9 to Brent. It is early days. Is that including my head start? Blue waxbill. And a zebra. Where's the zebra? Oh, well spotted, VM. Is it alive? And doesn't matter, no. No, it can be dead. But that one is alive. Yardbird, you're interested in what a Wahlberg's eagle eats. It's basically small mammals, small reptiles, anything sort of meaty that it can get its talons and beak into. It's not particularly fussy about what it eats, I don't think. Let me just quickly confirm that exactly. Yeah, and birds. So birds, reptiles, small mammals. Also will eat frogs and insects, termites. You'll find it eating termites at emergences. As the waxbill has gone, hasn't it? Okay, well we got... Alrighty, well we're going in search of more species. Brent, I think, is heading towards the north. Let's find out if he can add to his tally of 9.
Well, we've spotted a few birds, but they keep fluttering away. Just trying to see, there was a brown-hooded kingfisher that flew in here somewhere. I'm not seeing him again. As I said, it's going to be tough in this wind, but we like a challenge. Okay, we're heading down towards a little patch of water in Twin Dams. Maybe, just maybe, there's going to be something around there. Also, one of the main reasons I'm heading there is because there's a fruiting jackalberry, so I'm hoping to get a few bird species. Standing by, yours. Copy, thanks very much. So that was just an update on the Nkahuma Pride of Lions. They are 400 meters to the north of our boundary, which is unfortunate. But hopefully they might make their way back before the end of the sunset safari. Brian, where are all the animals? Where are all the birds? The birds have been blown away. And they've been blown north. And I think we've got a chance coming up at this fruiting jackalberry to add maybe a couple of species. Almost certainly grey go-away bird. Unless they'd finished eating all the fruit already. Well, we can hear some birds. There, that's the big tree up here. It's fruiting at the moment. There we go. There's the grey go-away bird. So, have you seen a different one to me? To the left. Okay. Oh, is it a go-away bird? I can't see in. Oh, there we are. Here we go. The grey go-away bird. And there's another one, but I can hear some more birds in that fruiting tree. Now, of course, the grey go-away bird has been quite a pest to lots of different animals. They alarm call it lion, leopards, and even at people sometimes. There we go. Right on the edge is a glossy starling. Where am I being blind? There we are, down, bottom left corner. Come across. Here we go. a Cape glossy starling. And you can see that incredible iridescence shining off him. Now, the shinier you are, the better chance you've got of getting a mate. So female starlings will choose the shiniest looking male to mate, and the reason for that is that iridescent shine is very, very connected to their health. So the more unhealthy the starling is, the less shiny they are. Oh, sorry. Standing by, Taxon. I read Weaver's Nest. I'm now Twin Dams, and then I'm going to check the Mawati to the north. Okay, let's have a look. Maybe there's a green pigeon. Okay, copy, it will do. Okay, so far just lots of starlings and go away. Oh, there's a different starling species. Don't fly away, don't fly away. There, it's landed next to that go away birds. Oh, I can't really see. Where is he now? There we go. That's a Birchall starling, so our second starling species. The Cape glossy starling Tour Pro is wondering whether it's the same as the Cape starling. Now, I'm trying to... I think yes, it is. Cape glossy starling is the same species as the Cape starling. And that was from Tour Pro. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if there's any green pigeons, but you can actually just see how strong the wind is. But I think I know where things are going to be hiding in this strong wind, in the Mawati River. Okay. So I wonder what... Where did it go? Where did it go? Brian, you got him? On the ground? Okay, so you see there's that little dark scuff mark? Wait, just come... Okay. Okay, to the right, slightly. And... Oh, this is going to be very tricky. I'm just trying to see... Okay, Brian, let's have a look with the eyes. Oh, there it goes. Yes, there we go. It's called a guinea fowl. There we go. It's called a guinea fowl. So there's a bird named after it as well. But Taxon's just calling me. Apparently there's monkey alarm calls. Tax, I'm on Twin Dams. I can make my way straight there if you'd like. Okay, so we've just got a report, and Taxon's asked me to come give him a hand. I'm going to just see if James is closer, because there are monkey... Oh no, well, that answers the question, whether James is closer to follow up on the monkey alarm calls. I was hoping he was going to be closer than me, but he wasn't closer than me. He's in the exact same position as me.
Fail safe to just keep following you, because you gave us 5 points, so if we follow you, we'll see exactly what you see and we can't lose.
Yes. That is also quite a clever strategy, but I don't know if you're going to get that butterfly.
A butterfly doesn't have a heart. Ergo, you may not
it said animals.
No, it said heartbeat.
I'm being told by Final Control that it counts. I'm going to make my way towards it, see what those monkeys are shouting at, and that way you can't follow me.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Sneaky strategy by Master Henry. Since we gave him 5 bonus, he keeps following us and seeing whatever we see. Is he turning around, Brian? I think he is.
No, he's following us.
Quickly. Evasive maneuvers. We need to collect some elephant dung, and then as we drive, we deploy flares. That was very sneaky of James, but quite exciting. There are monkeys alarm calling, and just up ahead here. So Taxon's asked me to come back into that area, to try help him. And there's also tracks of a leopard. I didn't hear it was male or female, so I'm going to rush to that area, and I'm sure James is going to go try pick up all the starling species we just saw in that large jackalberry. Okay, let's go to James and the killer bee starlings.
Hello everybody, we're back again. Well, I thought it was quite a good strategy, don't you? Keep up, just follow behind him. He's given us a 5-point advantage to start with, and then you're going to see exactly what he sees. I think that's a very clever strategy. Anyway, we're going to desist with that strategy. I thought he was going up towards Sydney's Dam. He isn't. He's now going to help follow up with some... oh. They've actually got a leopard there. You've seen a leopard. So Brent is on his way there, and Aubrey and Taxon are there. So with any luck, we'll have a leopard soon. Good. That's a nice stroke of luck. I wonder if it's the same one we saw yesterday that Brian and I saw, that rather shy thing that was very nervous of us. I don't know. That's brilliant. Great stuff. Now, what I'm looking for here is the brown hooded kingfisher, which occur in fairly large abundance in this particular area. Guinea fowl butterfly. Doesn't have a heart. Suddenly the rules are changed. I'm going to have to send the rules that were sent to me by Rebecca back to her, so that she can read what she wrote. Plants are alive, Rebecca. No plants or anything other than plants or trees. So it can be a carcass. Really? How old can the carcass be?
Does the lion poo count?
Yes, does the lion poo count? So I need you to confirm now, no plants, correct? Any other organism? But any other organism, is that correct? Yes? Okay, arachnids? Yes, we can have arachnids. Okay, well I've got something here that is not a plant or an animal, and so because we're allowed, well, anything except plants, right? Anything except plants. Oops, I'm now stuck. Oh dear. That is a lichen, everybody. A lichen is not a plant. It is not an animal. It is a kingdom entirely on its own, built on the symbiosis between fungi and algae.
They approve.
They approve. Fantastic. God. Right, let's keep going. Well, Brent's going to look for the leopard. He'll be concentrating hard on the leopard. See what else we can see in here. No, I don't know the individual species of that lichen, Rebecca. No one does. No, it's not. It is a species of lichen, and therefore were I to find another one and to try and claim that they were different, then it would be a problem. The fact that I do not know which species of lichen that is not a problem. There was nothing in your rule book that said I had to name the species. They just had to be different. There we go. Phew. I'm getting my point from Rebecca, everybody. Thank goodness, she's trying to rob me. Heartbeats are now deeply unthick on the ground at the moment. Oh, that's a good point. In fact, let's do that right now.
Hey, you can't touch my camera.
We've got a new species, everybody. It's VM.
Hi guys, we've got a special point. I can't see who it is just yet, but if we have a look straight across my bonnet, we have, oh no, behind a bush we have a leopard. I'm just trying to find a gap where we can get a good view for you, and we can also get an ID. There we go. Is it the queen? Looks to be a female. I think it is Queen Karula. Cub's not here, so she's obviously been out hunting. I think Queen Karula should be up worth 100 points. Oh, phone tax got good visual. Okay, now this is a double-edged sword for us, because of course it's amazing that we've getting to have a look at Queen Karula, but it is going to make it quite difficult for us to get the rest of the species. So James does have an opportunity to leap ahead in the Bush Olympics this afternoon. Brian, quickly, another species. There we go. Another species. I just got it. It's a stable fly, one of the little biting flies that bites us. Okay. Well, it looks like she might get moving. Oh, she just had a little roll over. And there we go. You can actually see some of that fly's friends buzzing around her ears. Little biting flies that feast off mammalian blood. There we go. It's quite warm today, 30 degrees Celsius. Cecilia thinks we should get 85 points for seeing Karula. I think, Cecilia, you should have a word with the judges. That. I've just heard a terrible update. We only get 1 point for Queen Karula. Hi. Lizney is wondering, do animals ever snore? They do, actually, and probably the loudest snore I've ever heard from an animal is from an elephant. But they do snore. It's not that common. I've heard lions snore, leopards snore. There, Brian's heard a warthog snore even. So yes, certain animal species do snore. I've heard baboons snoring actually, and monkeys as well. So there we go. Queen Karula having a snooze. So she obviously had an unsuccessful hunt. There were monkeys alarm calling at her. So that's probably why she stopped. She might have been stalking something. It is really great hunting weather for the big cats. Even though it's still daylight, this strong gusting wind is going to affect the hearing and the smell of all the prey species out here. So there is a good chance she might be successful in daylight hours today. And if this wind continues through into the darkness, it will make for very, very good hunting weather for the Queen of Djuma. Okay, so there's quite a few vehicles trying to get in here. We will come back later. So we will come back later, but she is snoozing, and there's a couple of other guys who want to get in there, and we don't want to get too far behind on our game, so I don't think she's going to move. I will keep an ear to the radio. As soon as she starts moving, we'll make our way back. But there we go, Queen Karula. So there haven't been leopards seen for the last couple of days on Djuma, so there's a lot of the lodges want to get in, have a quick look, but we will come back later, don't worry. Yours, you can make your way straight in. I'll make space for you. 100%. I'll come back later, no problem. I film, I'm sure taxi, don't worry. Okay, so we're just going to make space, but I guarantee there will be space again just now. Most people are probably, see, we got stuck there in a little hole. There we go. Well, isn't that exciting? At least Karula is on property. We will be back a little bit later. And Rocky Knight was wondering if Shadow's cub has been seen. And apparently it has, Sarah. I can't 100% confirm. I did hear it was seen by itself yesterday. So it looks like Shadow's up to the same shenanigans she did with Sindile before he went into quarantine, leaving a young cub while going off and mating again. So very strange behavior, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Hi Sarah, who's from Cape Town, South Africa. Sarah would like to know, is it usual for leopards to sleep on the ground? Don't they normally sleep in trees, and aren't they quite vulnerable on the ground? Well, no, Sarah, even though it looks like she's sleeping, if you watched her ears carefully, she's always listening, and you actually find leopards on the ground far more than you find them in trees, and they snooze on the ground far more than they snooze in trees. So they'll generally only snooze in a tree when it's very hot, they're trying to get away from the biting flies, or if they've got meat in that tree. But most of the time, they will sleep on the ground. Okay. So we're not going to go too far. We will come back to Karula, as I said. I'll just let the guys get through, see their leopard, and then they'll probably go look for lions in Buffalo's Hook. So we'll head back there a little later. Now, Brian, anything alive near us? Okay, while we continue to search, and hopefully we haven't fallen too far behind by the time we've been sitting with Queen Karula, let's go see what James has found.
We have found nothing else just yet. Well, that's not true. We did see a pearl Charaxes butterfly, which would have made everyone seasick if we'd tried to follow it. And we saw an emerald spotted wood dove, but you were looking at Karula, so we thought we wouldn't disturb that particular aspect of things. And otherwise, no. But we're about to hit Buffelshoek Dam, hopefully not physically, and we'll see what's come down there. I was rather hoping those lions would have crossed back this way to come and have a drink here, but I think they are still in the same place they were. The wind is blowing up something cruel here, which means that all the birds are hiding in thick bush, because if they come out into the open, they'll be blown away. Right, here we are at the dam. Come on, let there be lapwings and geese and hardy-daws and hippos and lions and leopards and elephants. Oh, Nyala, we've seen them already. Never mind. Ring-necked dove, we've seen him already too. Hippopotamus, everyone, hippopotamus. Hello, Fox from Japan. You want to know the ring-necked dove is a close relative of the European turtle dove? It is indeed. And it used to be known as the Cape turtle dove, and it's now called the European, at least it's now called the ring-necked dove. There's one there. Very similar to the European turtle dove. Fox. Then we've got a three-banded plover down there.
Where's it now?
It's there in the middle there. There we go, flying, being attacked by the blacksmith lapwing. Did you get him? Right hand corner, there we are, well done. There's another giraffe coming down to drink, which is quite nice. We've got the blacksmith lapwing, and we've also, we can't take the blacksmith lapwing's baby, can we, as a different species. What is that over there? That's a hornbill. We've got the hornbill, I think. Let's just watch this giraffe. I know we're in the middle of a very important major Olympic competition here, but if this giraffe comes down to drink, it will be well worth the wait. Even though sitting out here on the wall, we're exposed to the wind. That three-banded plover has been attacked by that lapwing mercilessly for days on end. Really understand why that should be the case. Perhaps it's got to do with the lack of nutrients. Now, giraffe, of course, are tremendously ponderous drinkers. They think about it very deeply before they come down and have a drink. And they're also not particularly water dependent, you see, so I think he's obviously decided that things are just a little bit odd around here with the muck and the hippo, and so he's going to move on and try and find somewhere else to drink while he relieves himself in the bottom of the dam. That's very typical, isn't it, Viam? Anything else that we can see around here before we press on in our quest for many species? Okay, we are going to wait here apparently. We need to wait here. VMP, what is that off to the far right there? Is that the three-banded plover? Sorry everyone, there we are. Yes, it is the three-banded plover. Let me take out the binoculars and see what else I can see around here. Yes, 2 three-banded plovers. One blacksmith lapwing, one hippopotamus, very miserable looking, very miserable looking hippopotamus there. You can see really not a lot for it to be doing there. and not much water for it to lie in. And Betty, it really is a good question from you is whether these dams will completely fill up or not. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to my monitor, am I, BM? Betty, they will, but it depends on how much water we have. If we have about, say, if we have what is the normal, so about sort of 600 millimeters or so, then you'll find that it will get pretty full. It'll probably touch, look, I don't think it'll touch the bottom end of this particular, of these sort of knobthorn branches that are here. But I think it'll probably get to within sort of 3 or 4 feet of them. So, I mean, it's a tremendous amount of water that will fill up this dam. And there's an expected deluge, Betty. They're expecting there to be a huge amount of water this year. And that's why these dams have been fortified. I'm unconvinced that anybody really knows how much water there's going to be. Let's go a little bit forward and have a look at that giraffe. Hello, Kathy Stewart. You say, did I give a factoid about the hippo, and therefore can I have the point? I did not give you a factoid about the hippopotamus. Are you ready, Kathy Stewart? Get your pen poised. A hippopotamus bull weighs 2,500 kilograms. Woo! That's not very interesting, Kathy, but what is interesting, I think, about their mass is the fact that they only have a gestation period of 8 months. That is a month shorter than the human being. Now, I've never met a human being weighing 2,500 kilograms. Well, I've met a few people that come close, but still, it is a massive amount of mass, and yet they have such an amazingly short gestation period. And the reason for that is that they live in the water. And so the youngsters are protected by the water from the predators, and so they don't need to spend quite as long in utero as many of the other animals. So other animals of the similar size, like rhino for example, have a gestation period twice as long, up to 16 months. There you are, Kathy, there's many, many factoids for you. Let's continue along this way. Lisa, you say, is that hippo going to relocate soon? I would suggest, Lisa, that if it doesn't relocate soon, it's going to find itself in a substantial amount of discomfort and unpleasantness. There's nowhere really close by that it can go, maybe into Biffle's Hook, but I suspect the reason it's here is because it's been thrown out of a pod in Biffle's Hook. There, that's what this female giraffe's been looking at. See up there? She's been looking at a male. He's now looking at us. Romance across the treetops. Now, I think giraffes spend quite a lot of time in this kind of contact, where they're in visual contact, but because most of us are shorter than the trees, we can't see what they can see, and what I think they're looking at half the time is each other, and we often don't know that. Sorry, I've now lost my earpiece again. Let's head across to Brent Leo Smith. Apparently he has got some elephants.
So there's a little herd of elephants. They're not very relaxed in this wind. So we're keeping our distance. They just finished having a drink at the Djuma pan. And they might start feeding, so we're just going to let them relax down a little bit. Directly opposite the pan at the moment. There we go. Hello, ladies. It's okay. See, she's trying to smell us. She's pointing her trunk in our direction. But Brian, in the sky ahead of us, is another pair. There we go. You got them? There we go. Battalier. Pair of Battalier eagles flying. Look at that. Surfing the high winds of today. Wow, this wind is really strong. And, of course, Gerald, the giraffe. Hello, Gerald. I think Gerald's on his way towards the pan to have a drink as well. Oh, wind seems to be getting stronger. And of course, giraffe are incredibly tall, 4 meters in length, and they've got quite a lot of advantages. That long neck enables them to see predators from quite far away. It enables them to reach branches that other animals can't get. Just quickly check that there's not a yellow-billed oxpeckers there. They all look like reds, I'm afraid. Yep, red-billeds. Oh, those Ellies, we're going to get one last view of the Ellies as they move off into the bush. Here we go. So even though this herd might be a herd under normal circumstances, will be really relaxed, they really don't like strong wind like this. It makes a lot of the elephants very, very nervous. So even a normally relaxed herd can be a bit unrelaxed in this wind. So we're not going to try go too close to them. Okay, see, they've put a bit of distance between us and them, and they've become far more relaxed. And looks like they're going to head off to start feeding on the crest. And here we go. You can see the little one's still not 100% relaxed. See the ears, the tail, not enjoying this wind. Can you imagine if you've got smell as good as an elephant? This wind is probably charging you with multiple smells that just keep coming and going, coming and going. So I can imagine that be a little bit stressful. Oh, while we're here, Brian, blacksmith lapwing. So in the center of the bowl, where there's that very tall, very sharp spiked stick, just up to the right of that stick. There we go, and up there we go. Blacksmith lapwing. And we know the one at Buffalo's Hook Waterhole at the moment has got a little baby. And let's go have a closer look at that giraffe. So this wind is keeping us honest, really. You've got to be really, really vigilant. Now, if you ever had to walk on foot, this is possibly some of the most dangerous weather to walk in. There we go. Oh, quickly, before the giraffe right next to us, the good old, most common Cape turtle, ring-necked dove. And then just behind it, Brian, on the ground, if we go above, over the wood there, if you have a look, boom, there we go, red-billed buffalo weaver. And oh, quickly, I think it might fly, so if we come out a little bit, Brian, there's that single little acacia that's by itself to the left. There we go. Zoom right at the base. We will give our facts. It's just, is it? It's a southern black tit. Of course, there we go. One of the most frequently seen birds in bird parties. Yeah, the black and white of the southern black tit. Now, They are great feeders of spiders, and will even use spider webs to build their nests. Now, we've got to give a fact now about the Cape turtle dove. The Cape turtle dove's got a wonderful call, one of the more common calls we have. And where's the Cape turtle? Here he is. And he sits there, and in the early morning he says, work harder, work harder, work harder. But at 5 o'clock in the afternoon he changes his tune and he says, drink lager, drink lager, drink lager. Or he says, Cape turtle, Cape turtle. So it all depends on how you want to interpret his bird song. And of course the red-billed buffalo weavers, which there's still one out there. They build massive communal nesters, and they use thorns and all sorts of spiky spines to keep creatures like snakes out of their nest. So even though they're communal nesters, each pair will have a little nest that is just theirs. Now, it's quite a difficult thing. Oh, Brian, sorry, very quickly, there's a birch starling chasing some smaller seed eaters there. Can't see what they are just yet, but he's attacking them. Difficult to say from this distance. Look at that starling. I wonder why he's attacking them. No reason, but starlings are bullies. There could be a food resource like termites or something there that starling doesn't want to share. Let's try to get a little bit closer. Hopefully they don't disappear in this strong wind. There's a productive little segment there. And I think I'm hoping, I'm guessing, I'm not going to guess till I can actually see properly what those little seed eater birds are. I think they could be widers. Okay, we should be close enough now for the super zoom. There's some closer to us next to that little green jobby. There we go. There we go, that's the closest one, I think. There's a grey, is it? Whoa. Bully starling. There was definitely a grey-headed sparrow there. That's that birch-hill starling we saw a bit earlier, chasing all the little seed eaters. So there could be multiple species of seed eaters in this little group. I had a glimpse of a grey-headed sparrow before the starling chased it. Well, there we go. Let's try and figure out what everyone is in there. And there's a female lesser-masked weaver. Oh, it's so difficult in this light as well. Now quite far away, so that starling is really giving them a hard time. That's amazing. I'm just trying to double check the weaver before I make a definite call on it. You don't want to be getting minus points for wrong answers. Let's try sneak a bit closer again. Oh, there's one in the road. Let's have a look. Oh, did it fly? Of course it did. Okay, the light should be a little bit better now. Oh, there we go. There's a grey-headed sparrows. It actually looks to be a nice big flock of grey-headed sparrows feeding off grass seeds. I think that little weaver I saw has flown off, so I'm not 100% sure on it. So I'm not going to claim it. That would just be cheating. Oh, it sounds like they might have lost Karula in the thicket, so we're going to start heading back towards that area to give them a hand. But we will see. In this thicket there, Brian, little bird jumping to the left of the termite mound. making lots of noise. There we go. Bzz, 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 bzz. There's a rattling cysticula. The most common cysticula species we get out here, and I'm actually trying to think. I actually haven't seen another cysticula species here for a long time, since the summer. I think the last cysticula I saw was a zitting cysticula. But a lot of the cysticulas have their names after their calls. Oh, have you got something else in there? That's the rattling, who's been making all the noise. You see that little slightly pink heads? I mean, heads. It's got slightly pink legs and a little rufous cap. Now, one of the best little birds, if they're alarming heavily to find, you can use them to find snakes and even leopards. Okay, goodbye, little cysticula. An LBJ, a little brown job in birding, technical birding terminology. And remember, guys, hashtag Safari Live. And why don't we see who out there, who do you guys think is going to win? Who's going to win? Is it going to be the killer bees? Or is it going to be W and J, or J and W? So let us know. Who do you think is going to win this evening's challenge? Let us know by sending us an email to questions@WildEarth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. And not to be a spoiler one, just to let you know, the killer bees know their way to the podium. Let's just leave it at that. Tax. Tax confirmed. Do you think those Dagger boys are going to stop her from going down there? Copy. I was just going to take Galloway shortcut in case she cuts to the oh, slender mongoose. That slender mongoose nearly caught a baby Franklin. Copy, thanks. And there's Natal Franklin as well. That slender mongoose just jumped, and I heard the Franklin alarm calling, and I looked at it. You see how close they're staying together? Natal Franklin. Unfortunately, Brian, did we get that slender mongoose on camera? Oh, darn, sneaky slender. So what happened is that slender mongoose tried to grab one of the young sub-adult Franklin, and the others rushed in to attack. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye. Maybe we'll get another glimpse of that slender mongoose, Brian. If he went from behind that timber, might move. But it's very difficult, probably one of the most difficult little predators to get on camera because they are so quick. Okay, so Karula went into a really thick area. That guys are still around there, so we're just gonna have a quick check, make sure she hasn't changed direction, heading back here. Okay, well, we've managed to collect a few species, so let's go see how James is doing.
Well, we haven't found anything extra special since we last saw you. In fact, we haven't found any kind of mammal or bird or insect different from what we saw before, but we did see some very nice giraffe at Buffelshoek Dam. We spent some time with them, as you know. There are some buffalo. We've already seen buffalo VM, so we shall just gently cast the camera over them and move along, which will fill you with great joy, of course, because they are not your favorite, are they?
I like buffalo.
Oh, you like buffalo now? I keep forgetting. Yes, it's giraffe that you're not that fond of. The wind seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Now, there's a warthog burrow here. Let's see if there are any warthogs in it. No, nothing has popped out. No warthogs. Rebecca, what is the score? Chiefers, 28-27, and we have 5 extra. Good grief. I suppose, to be fair, we were offline for a little while, weren't we? We're going to have to pick it up. I knew it was early days. It was very early days to be getting confident when we were 27-9 up. I cannot see anything here. They did only get 1 point for Karula, is that correct? Rebecca's gone to sleep, everyone. Sorry about that. No, don't worry, I'll make it up as I go along. Oh, here we go. Community nest spider. I suppose I've got to try and find a spider in it now, don't I? I suppose the home isn't going to really count. Now, see if I can retrieve a community nest spider from the spider's web. I don't think there's anyone home in here. Get him. Yellow-billed hornbill, everybody. Well done, VM. 29. Give a fact. Yellow-billed hornbills will eat termites and community nest spiders. Here we go. There's the shell of an insect that was eaten by the community nest spiders. I don't suppose I'm going to get a point for that. No. There aren't any community nest spiders in that particular web. And I suppose I could have broken it open completely, but that would have been a bit nasty of me, so I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you also have to tell a fact about me.
Oh, I need a fact about VM to get a point. My fact about VM is that he was adopted by a cat, and his cat it just moved in with him one day, not so VM, in Pretoria, and then it travelled all the way to Cape Town, to where he now lives, or in Stellenbosch, in a car without a basket, correct? There we go. There's my VM fact. I think it's quite an endearing fact. VM was adopted by a cat. We haven't got Impala on our list yet, do we? No, we don't. We drive very fast now because we're near to Sydney's dam. So let's see how we do when we get there. The wind is now blowing very hard. Can you feel it, everybody? Just hit in the face by flying debris in the face of this hurricane. Right. There must be something in these clearings, unless it's all taken fright and gone away and hidden somewhere. Which, frankly, is what I'd be doing if I was standing out here. Oh, 35 minutes of the Ranger race left to go. It's going to be a tight, close, difficult thing to judge. Luckily, we have Rebecca in the final control, and if she manages to stay awake for the next 35 minutes, we'll have a result. Kirsten, you need to keep her awake. Surely that cannot be. Surely it cannot be. What is that? That's a hawk. If I didn't know better, I'd tell you that was a Lana falcon. Hang on a second. Sorry everyone, just hold on a sec. That is either a dark chanting goshawk or a falcon. Here it comes. Come on, bird. Come this way. Turn this way. We just need to get the underside of its wings, everyone. You see that very distinctive, well, you can only see you can't see what that is. It's diving. It's a falcon of some sort, everyone. That's really quite special. I don't think that that's a goshawk at all. And the only falcon that size that you can find in this area is a Lana falcon. I've seen them twice in the Sabi Sand before. It's quite a big call to make. I just don't see what else it could be, actually. I'll show you a picture of it, and I will leave it up to the judges to decide whether I can have it or not. But if you tell Brent Leo Smith that I saw a Lana falcon, he's going to fall out of his car. What have you got?
No, leopard tracks.
Leopard tracks. Probably the same leopard they've just seen.
Male.
Male. There's a Birchall starling. We don't have him. Male leopard tracks. Good stuff. Coming down towards Sandy Patch. Okay, perfect. I had his tracks here this morning. I'm sure it was from yesterday, actually. There's the Birchall starling, everybody. Let's just pop up to the dam here. The falcon is gone. See if there's anything at the waterhole here. Surely there must be an impala here. Not a sausage. Not even one sausage here. Brent Leo Smith has gone back to the Queen, which is imminently more pleasant than looking at this empty dam. So let's go back to the Queen and see her.
Now you can just make out Karula disappearing. Oh, and she's gone. We're going to try catch up with her again. She is gone into an incredibly difficult area. Now, she's literally going to pop out at our garages where we park the cars. So that's where she's heading. So I'm going to try to get back basically to the DRC. If I'm not stuck, that is. Okay, we're just trying to give you one last view before she disappeared. But I'm in a very difficult spot here. So we're just going to go across to James while I try extricate myself from the block.
And while he does that, we're going to desperately see if we can find some more species. Surely there must be a lilac-breasted rolla around here, or a crowned lapwing in the clearings, or even a Senegal lapwing in the clearings. Yeah? You see anything? Or is everything taking fright and hidden from the hurricane? Anyway, let's just stop here. I just want to show you this bird in case. I would be hesitant to tell you, those of you who are keeping bird lists, to add Lana falcon. But, well, you can make that choice on your own. As Boris Becker said after losing at Wimbledon in the first round one year, no one will die if you decide that you want to take it. There is the Lana falcon, and the distinctive thing about them is the long tail and that very distinctive wing shape that they have when they fly, and the very distinctive flapping. Brent has seen the European hobby before. That's this thing here. It's migratory though, so it wouldn't have been one of those. I'm pretty sure it was a Lana. Very nice. Good. I shall leave it to your discretion as to whether you take it or not. I'm going to. especially today. Delamay, you want to know if we find pangolins here? We do find pangolin here, Delamay, but very uncommonly. I've never seen them in the Sabi Sand. Brent's seen one on drive here, but you do from time to time hear about them, and in fact last week they found one on Torchwood and everyone went to have a look at it. Torchwood is the reserve just to the east of us, not far from where we are now, and so they are around, and we find their tracks and we find their dung and we find where they've been digging and excavating, but they're very secretive and they're normally around only in the kind of dead of night, so we don't see them very often. Nice question, thank you, Delamay. Drongos, never mind, we've got them. I've never seen so few birds. Some more pixels there, everybody. Jennifer, I would happily hand over a victory to anybody who saw pangolin. If Brent finds a pangolin, he can have the victory for free. Tawny eagle. You have to take my word on that. Yeah, look at the way it's definitely a tawny eagle. I was hoping maybe for Wahlberg's. Tawny eagle, we'll take it. The reason I knew that, tawny eagle, this is going to be my factoid, is that its wings and back were a different color. So its outer wing feathers are very dark chocolate brown, and its back was a much more tawny colored brown. And so that's how I knew immediately as it turned. It just turned slightly into the light like that, and then it carried on straight. And when it did that, we could see the different colors on the back. You couldn't see it, of course, in this lens. All you saw was a slightly darkened pixel in the top left-hand corner of your screen. That was a tawny eagle, I promise. I swear. Now, what else do we have through here before Brent extricates himself and goes back to Karula? Come on, VM. There was a bush baby's nest. Oh, well done. What's those green pigeons? Did you get them? Did anyone see them? Rebecca says that didn't count. She seems to have woken up, unfortunately. So we can't have green pigeons. What a dreadful pity. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for those. Good run, VM. Sorry about that. Alright, now. We've got him, that's grey go-away bird. We've got him, that's Cape Glossy starling. Lapwings, must be some crowned lapwings in this clearing here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Where are you? There's a ringneck dove which we've already got. Must be a Senegal. Oh, no. 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 Negative, no. Karula is currently about to visit Mike and Candace for tea, so they're about to have Queen, at least tea with the Queen. Go and have a look.
So you're not going to believe where we are. We're back with Karula. She's going to pop out. Don't go back into the drainage line. No, she's not, thank goodness. But there she is. She is within our camp bounds at the moment. So look at her, there she is. Unfortunately, there's an elephant fence that we can't get through. Now we've got some really relaxed little bushbuck and really relaxed Nyala that we see in camp often. Brian doesn't like the bushbuck so much, it ate all of his sunflowers.
Ate all my flowers, man.
So maybe Brian's hoping that Karula catches the bushbuck. So it's not uncommon for Karula, when I first arrived, to be in and around camp all the time. But we haven't seen her around here for quite some time. Well, not this close to camp anyway. just going to move forward a little bit. We're looking if I go around a bit, right? How's that? You got it? We just yeah. I've lost sight of it. Oh, there she is. Now we can't get a car in there, so we will try to look for her. She might pop out on the other side of this block. Oh, she's going to sit down. And you can see how well a leopard's camouflage works. Now, this is ideal hunting territory for her. There's Tambwiti thickets all over the place. And a high number of bushbuck and Nyala in this area. I don't think we're going to get another view. I think she's going to dip back down into that little river system that's uncrossable. So I'm going to try and make my way towards the Gallagher waterhole side and see if she pops out there. Yes, it looks like she might head back towards Gallagher Pan. Okay, but before we leave, quickly, Brian, a little acria butterfly. There it is, the little acria. Or did you go for the citrus swallowtail? I saw two. Where'd the acria go? We got a little bit up and to the left. It's gone. Don't worry. But I just want to show you exactly where we are. So that is the old final control through there, and I'll show you exactly where Karula was. Okay. Now this is going to blow your mind. Look at this. So Karula was right here. This is where we start our day every day. So there we go. This is where we park the vehicles. There's Jigger, who's busy being re-kitted, and that's why the back's open. So I was half expecting, there we go, there's Connor. So Connor was working on the vehicle, and there's Eggsy as well. And Louise, there's a whole pile of people here. So they were working on the vehicle, and Karula happened to pop in. So that's how close she was to camp. Hi everyone, you're on camera, wave. Connor, smile. Smile, Connor. There we go. Okay, well, enough of this nonsense. Let's go back to James and see what he's up to.
Liam and I both feel there's been much time wastage in that particular link, and I think showing people a parking bay while we're waiting here with the crested barbet, species number 786 for our day, is a little unfair. It is not the only species we have over here, oh no. We also have a magpie or long-tailed shrike, thereupon that stick. Well done, Liam. Liam will take that one. That's two more. Oh, and the facts. Okay, crested barbet, fruit eater, all insects, but largely fruit. They enjoy pepino specifically. The long-tailed shrike lives in a flock of birds. Here we are, and the flock is territorial, as we saw this morning, and they show their territoriality by singing very beautifully and waving their wings in a flag-like fashion. That is called flag waving. Thank you very much. On we go. I'd love to know what Brent Leo Smith's garden acria fact was going to be. It's one thing identifying butterflies, but knowing anything about them is quite difficult because not many people know anything about butterflies other than what they're called. But luckily you didn't see it. Right, we're going round the corner here. We're going to find Senegal lapwings. It's going to be a waste of time. Hello Tasha Michelle, I'm not really sure how to answer your question. You say, is this road we're driving on sand or is it dirt, and do we get sand here? I would normally use the terms sand and dirt fairly synonymously. Maybe you could ask the question again. It's just a graded road through the reserve. It's not surfaced at all, so they haven't put anything on it. I suppose sand is strictly speaking what we'd find in the riverbeds. It's much more large particles. This would be sandy loam, I suppose. It's kind of loamy soil, and then in those you may have seen in those in the dams or in the pans that are on the sides of the road, what we find is clay, which is very small particles. So does that answer your question? If it doesn't, please feel free to send through another one and I'll give it a go. Now, there must be a roller around here. I know there's a roller living here. I also know that there are Senegal lapwings somewhere around here. And if I do not manage to get impala added to my list, I will be sorely shocked and horrified, because impala are everywhere. Steenbok. Oh, we don't have Steenbok. We've only got duiker.